Hi, welcome to class. We're the only two right now, but the other ones will show up eventually, right? I hate my life. I hate my life.
And Professor Sunreis Productions!
Hello class, Professor Sunreis here. I just saw that these displays look weird right now because they're super off sync, but please try to ignore that. In today's class, we're gonna take a look at the future of Bystials, or Dragon Control Bystial, whatever you want to call it. As currently the deck is super strong because it happens to counter tier elements perfectly, but in the future this will definitely change with Kashtiras support coming out and probably being a better counter to tier elements in general, and also happening to counter us because they do banish a lot and they can play stuff like Defissure, Deshifter, you name it. The future of the deck might look grim, but then again we also get lots of support to make the deck itself being an even stronger engine. So I'm just gonna go quickly over all of those things which happen. As some of you have also seen, we've probably gotten like one of the best boss monsters in the last few months, I would say. So we also definitely will go over this, and also we will take a look at the one quick draft of how a future Dragon Link or Dragon Control Bystial deck might look. So if you don't want to miss anything of this channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave some feedback down in the comment section below, and let's get right into the video. So let's take a look at the future of Dragon Bystials, because in my opinion, like I said earlier, the deck will definitely have a lot of like a very different spot in the meta. For now, it's like a very anti-meta approach to the T elements and also a little bit to the spread, because in my opinion these are like very good matchups and it just punishes them for playing darks or playing the game in general. Has very beneficial stat lines / effects against both of these decks. But in the future, with Kashtira being the new go-to counter to T elements and trying to check that deck down, the representation of T elements will go down, and we have a new deck in the room which is very good against Bystials because it neither plays lights or darks, has very big effects, big attacks, stats, and most importantly, the effects are just very good against Bystials because of all of these banishes going down. So let's take a look at Phantom Hypernova release and Cyberstorm Access release, because these are going to be the most huge updates to the game in a while. They will put in lots of new cards for both for and against Bystials. So the future of Bystials is definitely in a very interesting state right now. So let's first take a look at Phantom Hypernova release on the 9th of February. The Kashtira will definitely challenge your Bystials, like I said, as a counter to T elements, but also as a counter to Bystials themselves. Kashtira will have a very good matchup against both of these decks. So this will definitely be very interesting how Bystials handle them. While the engine against engine, the decks will be countered. Bystials do have a very nice way of playing these light hand trips. Nibiru is very good against Kashtira. They have no innate way to play around that, and even Lancia could be something to keep up. So all of these light hand trips definitely have some nice added value for the Bystials. So this could definitely be something which the deck can also profit a little bit in these times of crisis. But engine against engine, Kashtiras will just shit on Bystials. But Bystials also get a new tool in Bystial Baldrake. This card is very strong, will definitely make playing a lot of Bystials even stronger in the future, just because it offers such a nice way of interacting with your opponent. Also, there will be some Chaos tools in this set, and also a Branded Trap. These cards are probably not worth it to play. At least for now. The Chaos tools could definitely be something later down the line once we get to Cyberstorm Access, and the Branded Trap is probably too situational, but it could be something to take a look into. But we will not go over them in this video because I don't think they will be worth it to play. So overall, the deck will get a bad matchup in the Kashtira. It will have to evolve from an anti-meta deck into more of a standalone deck and try to get its own engine going and try to max out on that instead of just relying on trying to negate your opponent's plays with your own Bystials. And the new support does help a little bit with that, but the standalone deck of the standalone part of this deck will come into fruition once the new support comes out in Cyberstorm Access. Let's take a look at Bystial Baldrake. We've probably seen this card because it's been in there for a while. Let's quickly remove my face cam here so you can see that. So we have the standard Bystial lineup effect in the light and dark banish summoning condition. This is a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. It has the same stat line, and if your opponent special summons a ritual, fusion, synchro, XZs, and or link monster, you contribute one other light or dark monster, then target one of those summoned monsters, banish it. So this is going to be a very good effect. Not only does this help you to trigger your Dru's Worm, but also most importantly, it's a disruption by itself. And if you play a lot of Bystials, because you can now play 12 main deck Bystials, so you can very likely disrupt your opponents with 2 Bystials in their turn. You can even use this to disrupt your opponent quickly. For example, if you have this plus Dru's Worm, the amount of disruption you put on your opponent is going to be huge, because you can banish a Kid Carlos with that. Against Kashtira, they do rely on XZs, you can banish them. So this card will be lots of added benefits, most importantly in your opponent's turn, but you can also just end on this and seal, or maybe like another Bystial, and then you have like an on-demand banish on the Kashtiras, which will be very good for the deck. So this card is definitely going to be huge. The main problem is that Bystials themselves will get less good once Kashtira comes up. But if you had this card in the current format, you would be thriving. This card would be so insane against tier elements. It is unreal. So let's take a look. I'm going to give you my beautiful face back. I think this is like roughly where it is. Not going to matter. So let's take a look at Cyberstone Access, released on the 5th of May. So we'll have like roughly 3 months of the metagame with Kashtira. So these will be 3 months plus 1 bandlist, which could definitely change up the meta as well. To get into this format with Cyberstone Access, there will be a huge amount of cards in there. This will probably be like a set like Path of the Duelist Code, where stuff like Droplet came out, Access Code, and the Dogmatic Hand. So this will probably be a huge set. So the release of Daddy Bystial Dis Pater will nicely line up on this channel, with Mommy Shen Shen and Daddy Colossus being a huge boss monster for the deck and opening up lots of new ways. This might open up a way of playing Bystials differently than for now. So for now, Bystials is like one of the most controlly decks I've ever played. It is such a slow game plan. Only way it ever closes out games is you have a shit ton of Bystials and you just go for game, which definitely happens. So it's not as slow as something like Altar Guys, but it's very control heavy and very resource focused. You could take away from that and just play the bare minimum for the Bystials and go into a Dragon Link type deck and just try to end on a very big end board. So this could definitely be something to take a look into. Maybe 60 card Brave, Dragon Link stuff could be something you want to play. And this opens up some nice applications for the aforementioned Chaos or Rockets, because you really want to have tuners for this, because this is a synchro monster, of course. So this opens up plenty of new ways to experiment and to play with your Bystials or your dragons in general. So let's take a look at this card. By the way, I'm sorry for the quality and also the cropping, but this was the only thing I've found on the internet for now, which I could get into my hands onto. So let's take a look at Bystial Dis Pater. This is, I think, Latin for Holy Father or something. So this is gonna be a new daddy. By the way, the artwork is insane. I love it. You can't really see it here, but it is beautiful. It's a level 10 Dark Dragon Synchro monster. It needs 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner Dragon monster. So we are playing Bystials, so we got the level 6 here. So we're looking for level 4 tuners. So this could either be Rockets in the form of Quick Launch. You could play Charge of the Light Brigade and play Raiden as a normal summon to get your mills going. There are plenty of ways to go with this. Probably the most important one is the Quick Launch into Rocket Tracer. It's going to be the most consistent one for sure. So the first effect is insane. In my opinion, the better one of the two. You can target 1 Banish Light or Dark monster, special summon it to your field. So this is an insane extender. This helps you get for game quite nicely. And most importantly, this opens up the toolbox effect of the Dragon Bystial deck even more, because now it was that you wanted to have stuff in your graveyard so you can add it back with Magnamin, or once you have Regain set up, you wanted to banish those cards like Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, stuff you want to recycle into your deck so you can put them into the deck with Regain again. Now, you're kind of emphasized to banish your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon and revive it with Dis Pater, because then you can revive it and revive something out of the graveyard, and then suddenly you have a 3.5k beat stick, a 2.8k beat stick, and probably another 2.5k beat stick because you revive a Bystial out of your graveyard, putting you, I think that's over lethal, right? That's 5, 6, yeah, that's just lethal with just a level 10 synchro on the board, which is very interesting. So this opens up lots of cool possibilities to play good with the deck, but also to just misplay with the deck because you missed 1 banish, or you put 1 into the deck with Regain, which you didn't want to do. So this will definitely be a very good effect, but also you can summon something from the opponent's graveyard. So for example, you can banish a Collider Heart of the opponent controls, and then you can just summon that. Stuff like that will definitely be a very strong effect for this card. And then secondly, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can target 1 banished card, shuffle it into the deck. Then if it was your card, you can destroy the monster. If it was your opponent's card, you can negate the effect of that monster. So this is like a very cute effect where the deck suddenly has a way to negate monster effects, which was something the deck lacked. So this will be definitely a very cute effect. But most importantly, this is somewhat of a conditional effect, because oftentimes, especially if you go first, you probably won't be able to have stuff banished from the opponent's side once they want to use an effect. So this is most likely just going to be a pop, but keep in mind this can be just another form of disruption, and most importantly, it can be a negate in archetype, I would say. So this will be a very cute effect, but most importantly, I'm excited for this effect to just keep on extending once you've already established your game plan and you're in a grind game and you try to go for game or try to force your opponent's resources. So with that in mind, let's take a look at one list I've prepared for this deck. Get over my reasoning why I think what the direction of the deck will be in the future. Like I said, this is all speculation or like educated guesses because there could still be something even better in this set. The banners could change things up as well. But in my opinion, if things go for now and we only get this card, I think the approach, the Bystial Dragon Link, Dragon Control deck, however you want to call it, was probably going to something similar like I'm planning for now. So let's take a look at that. So this is the list I've been tinkering with. I haven't done any playtesting, just like from a theory standpoint, this is probably where I would want to go with the deck. So let's just go card by card. For the Bystial engine, we have all of the OG Bystials, apart from Druid Swarm, maxed out, of course. Magnamut and Discerner are just insane at getting a place going. And then I played 2 of Druid Swarm and Baldrake. This, of course, takes into consideration that Kashtiras will be in the format. Maybe you want to play even less of those and just side deck them. But these don't offer the Bystials a game plan. Like from an engine standpoint, they don't give you to Magnamut. They are not Magnamut. They don't get you to your spell traps. They don't send Rebellion, stuff like that. From engine standpoint, these are the worst ones. But from they are the disruptions. So naturally, you still want to play them. So I think a 2-to ratatio of these is quite good. If Tier Element still is in the format, you could definitely get away with playing 3-3 of those. You would probably, if the Kashtiras is still, not Kashtiras, Tier Elements is still in the format, you definitely side all Bystials because these are just so insane. If you take into consideration that people are siding 3 Serenia or like all of the, to get up to 3 Serenia against Tier Elements, you will definitely want to play all of these against Tier Elements. So these will probably go into the side. You will definitely still play Regained and Branded Beast. The other branded card is Branded Inevitable, which we can take a look at here. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card effect that targets a Bystial, or when your opponent activates a card effect in response to a Bystial, you can target 1 light or dark monster in either graveyard, banish it, then negate that effect. Also some negation, which could be good, but it's only so conditional once you've activated the Bystial and your opponent changed to that. It is very good in a Bystial mirror, I would say, so maybe you want to side that if Bystials become very popular. You could side this in and have it like a very good card in the Bystial mirror, so you can stop your opponent's Bystials and help your Bystials resolve. But other than that, I don't think this card will see some play, so we'll definitely stick to these. This also doesn't do anything for Bystials, so we'll definitely just stick to these. I'm a huge fan of 2 Regained. I think the card is completely broken, and you always want to have it going first, but this could change up. Then we are on the Quick Launch package. Reason why I think you will take this approach to the deck and not the full-on combo approach is that the Bystials themselves are still just very good at controlling, but most importantly, the basic Dragon Link combo only is there so you can search a Rocket Tracer. So you know the basic combo is to get 2 dragons on the board, go into Romulus, search the Ravine dump Absurauda, there it is, Absurauda, search Tracer, and then you use your Rocket Field spell to summon Tracer, and then you use Tracer effect to extend. Problem with that is, there's no way you get a Bystial with that, so you rely on hard drawing the 2 Bystial cards you need to do the Bystial combo, like a Lubellion, a Serenia, stuff like that, or with a Seyfried, and then you still have to get into your double dragon on the board. So this is just way too much for the deck to handle. So it will be very unlikely for you to enter on Bowl End Dragon, plus the new Synchro for the Bystials, plus like Branded Beast, plus Regain. This is possible, definitely, but it's just not very consistent. So this is just way too much for the deck it wants to do. So it wants to do a combo approach to a deck and also still try to do Bystial control stuff, which is just, you really want to focus on one thing. And I think the Bystial control stuff is just so much better than the control stuff, the combo stuff, just because the combo stuff relies a lot on bricks. You have your Bootstack launch, you have your Ravine, you have your Absurauda, you have your Rocket Synchron thing, the small guy, you have the Recharger. These are just way too many bricks the deck just doesn't need to run. But you really want to have access to your Synchro Force, to your Tuner Force. And Quick Launch is an insane card, and so is Tracer because it's searchable. As you can see, I'm not even playing a summon target of this. It could definitely be something which you maybe want, but for now, I think just playing 3 Quick Launch and 1 Rocket Tracer, which you can search off your Magnamut, will be enough. to just get into one copy of Bystial Pater or just one Baron de Fleur. So if you have your basic combo for now, and then you happen to draw a quick launch with it, you can just summon do the quick launch, get the one Bystial on the board, and then you can just go into Fleur, you get a nice Omni negate, and then afterwards you normal summon, you can still continue your 2 dragon combo to just get on Seal and pass on Baron, Seal, and hopefully like Branded Regain, Branded Beast, stuff like that. So I think this will definitely be the approach to the deck. You might want to tinker with the ratios. Maybe you only want to play 2 quick launch because this is basically a Garnet with the quick launch in combination, and this always feels bad. Stuff like that you could still consider. You could also put one tracer more in there so you can grind with them. However you want to do it. Then for the normal summons, still the same amount. I did cut one Black Metal Dragon just because Tracer is also a very decent normal summon. Just getting on a Baron is definitely fine for the deck for now, once if the T elements are still on the meta. So you just have to do some cuts at some point, and then you just play a lot of hand traps. Like 9 should be enough because you have played all of these Bystials. 9 is like a decent amount to stop the Kashtiras stuff a little bit. For the side deck, like I said, you can play lots of good light hand traps in Nibiru. It's super good against Kashtira. This will probably be on the side or in the main deck, probably even in the main deck just because we play so many hand traps. 3 Lancia. Could be good against the Kashtira thing. I'm not too sure about it because if they only have the Unicorn, they can still end on the XZs and get into a Fenry. I don't think Lancia is going to be good enough against that. You probably want to side your Bystials, your Druze Worms, your Baldrakes, just because T elements is still going to be in the meta at that point, other than the banlist completely nutting it, but I don't think this is going to happen just yet. I think the next banlist after the banlist we will get will be the huge format reset, and then the rest of the side deck is unknown. The extra deck is pretty much the same, apart from that you really want to play Bystial Dis Pater as a Synchrotron, and if you are playing Synchrotans, you might as well play Baron just because it is so insane. And while Dis Pater is a very strong monster, it is not a boss monster per se where you end on it. This probably will be a monster where you want to use this to finish your opponent off, because this lets you, like I said, get you lots of damage on the board, but most importantly, this also gives you a negate. So if your opponent has still that one play they have, for example in Nibiru, which will be more popular in the future, you have a way to stop that Nibiru and still get damage on board. Because for now the deck plays heavily into Nibiru just because no one is playing it. But once Nibiru becomes more popular, this deck has to take considerations against that. So this might be one of those things where this card just will be so good because Nibiru is there and it lets you get into lethal damage on board. Other than that, the deck is gonna look very similar to this, like it is right now, just the quick launch package and the tracer. You could tinker, like I said, with like a huge combo variant and just play a very small Bystial engine, maybe like only 3 Rebellion, 3 Magna, 3 Saronia, these as a one-off or something like that. Definitely will be doing lots of testing. I'd like to play a Dragon Link combo deck. Maybe 60 card Brave Dragon Link is a deck again, but without Pipega Ruler. The payoff of turboing into the Tracer, into the Rocket Engine is just not there anymore. And with that out, the way the 2 Dragon go into Ravine guy just don't do enough anymore. You need to hard draw Bystials, and for that you need to play 40. And if you play 40, the all of the Dragon Links, you don't have the space for, most importantly, but all of the bricks will just add up too much. So I think something like this might be the future for Bystials, but definitely let me know if you've tinkered with the deck, how you want to build your Bystial Dragon control decks in the future, if you've thought about that at all. So yeah, I think that's it for the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this informative approach to the future, how Bystial Dragon control, however you want to call it, will look. Definitely excited for the future. Dis Pater is a very strong card. I love Synchro Monsters. Baron de Fleur is broken as fuck. Quick Launch is an insane card. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Class is dismissed. You are free to leave. Professor Sunreis out. Peace.